A second video for today, Tuesday, 5th of July 2016. I just come back from another little cigarette walk, and I figured I did mention how none of these inhumane technologies and what they delude people into has anything to do with aliens or with gods or whatnot. One thing I didn't specifically touch on is that nothing about all of this has anything to do with immortality and or soul migration. Okay? You cannot snatch a person's body and put somebody else's soul in there. You cannot store a human soul somewhere and then feed it into another human or anything like that. I already touched upon this in the past. I talked about it in my documents, so I didn't really mention it in the videos. I do want to point out the email I sent for Lautbarung number 27, where I actually pointed you all out to a rebirth bakery. No shit. I pointed you out to that. Getting to Reno you. Okay, I pointed you out to that. I mentioned it in the documents. Even if they tell you that, well, but first, to store his soul, we must keep him for years in a limbo. Even if they explain shit to you how that is a long process storing a human, you cannot store a fucking human. You can interrogate that human with inhumane technology. You know, tell me all you remember about your daughter's 10th birthday party, and so on, and then you can store all of that information and fool the daughter once the parent is deceased into, hello, I am your parent, I remember the birthday party, blah. Okay? There is tons of things you can do down those kind of lines. I mean, to give you a very banal thing, I had fucking Marlon Brando sit on my chest to make my breathing harder, okay? Why? That was simply a case of a Marlon Brando VI, a virtual identity. That's not even using any particular recordings of Marlon or whatnot, right? It suffices alone to give that hypothetical daughter, one of the daughter's faces, the VI, especially if it's a cursor VI. Cursor VI is that VI which drives you through the scenario. That's a cursor VI. It's always indicating where in the scenarios you are. But even a part of the scenario app and a specific cursor VI, even a regular VI of the parent already suffices that the daughter's face brings all of her own memories there. And if additionally, via actual connections or via proxy fields, you shove shit that you recorded and extracted out of people live into the thinking of that phase, then you can fool people into, oh, I'm talking to the deceased, to the souls from the beyond, and or, oh, she has successfully migrated to that baby I bought at the bakery, or any shit like that. Nothing about this has anything to do with immortality or storing people or migrating people, right? And once more, this is where things that maybe even relatively smart people said in a poetic and a symbolic or figurative way, such as, well, a human is the sum of his memories. Even if it's harmless things like that, there are people who will idiotize this and say, well, look here, we interrogated that bastard for 10 years in a limbo, we got all his memories down, and now we stored him. No, they did fucking not. Okay? And if they use these individual memories much like I'm lost for a word that's in English, a jukebox, and work a little parser in between, they can entertain someone and fool someone. But that is not immortality. That is not from the beyond. Okay? You people out there, all of you fucking insane, stupid pieces of shit lurching inhuman filthicles are so effing gullible, it is unbelievable. You are the definition of gullible. There is no immortality. There is no storing people. There is no migrating of souls. There ain't no such thing. You can make databases and all manners of things. You can You can review people. Anybody being pinged, what do you have to say about that person? And or one person's opinions about a whole lot of other things. And if then daughter might be running a company and, gee, I wonder what father would do. I wonder what father thought of that man. You could access what was interrogated out of father while father was effing alive. Nothing about that is at all migrating a soul or immortality or talking to the fucking beyond. None of it. The first thing I wanted to mention as on what things ain't. Another thing, this has to a certain extent something to do with the shared mind. There might be people who argue that the shared mind is something like turbo democracy. Turbo democracy as in turbo capitalism, right? In the sense that, well, look here, what we're doing basically, I mean, we understand democracy is the dictate of the majority, so what we're doing is we're kind of indirectly with inhumane technologies asking people, polling people, and if 51% say this is what it is about or whatnot, then we force that opinion onto the other 49 just so that we don't have any pointless hassles. Hey, that's how democracy works. And in order to make it 51% and not just have the majority be, say, of 10 different opinions and the largest being still a minority, if 20% of the population would say, well, that is what I think it should be about or what we should do, and other opinions were minor than 20, to force those 20 onto 100%. That has nothing to do with democracy. That is outright idiocy. And the fact that there are such a lot of extremisms out there is because everything is strictly worked in a binary branching way. It's not even minorities that are still majorities as of what you have in opinions. It is getting people to decide to a 51% basis. Okay, that is the most wicked, sick, idiotic, insane antithesis to democracy anyone could ever imagine. This is not democracy. Nor does it answer any questions. Nor does it make anything easier. It makes everything, as in running a country, it makes everything harder. Another thing, none of this is what things ain't.